This is WALB News 10 with breaking news.
And that breaking news coming out of Grady County after a brawl erupted at the end of a high school basketball game between Westover and Cairo. You can see the chaotic scene there on the court there. The game itself became a secondary. Punches were thrown and pepper spray was used. I want to say thanks for joining us. I'm Colin Parker. I'm joined now by our sports director, Aaron Mukes, who is here now, and not really sure what happened, what started that, but I'm sure this is not the way that these teams, these families, these fans, they wanted to end the night.
Yeah, Quinlan, we talk about a big game already coming into it, and then this happens at the end, and now we have so much that we need to know what happened, why did this happen. And when we talk about Westover and Cairo, there was huge region implications on this game, so we knew it was going to be intense, and unfortunately ended this way. And we do have more. We were at the game. WALB was at the game tonight. We're going to go live to Janier Cooper, who was there. She got to witness what happened. We're going to hear some of her accounts of what took place. And really, it's just a sad thing to see because we go to these games, room for two high school teams, and then this happens. So trying to figure out what happened and why this happened, it's tough.
Yeah, unfortunately, Janier was okay. She wasn't harmed in any of this. We know that she was on the court getting some footage for us as well, but she's on the phone now, right?
Yeah, we're going to go to Janier Cooper now. Janier, you were out there. You were able to see what witness. You were right at the scores table where I'm hearing that it happened. Can you just walk us through what actually took place, what you got to see, and how this all started?
Yeah, Aaron. It was after the game. The game had just ended. It went into overtime, actually. And like after every game, players were walking across, shaking each other's hands. And the Westover head coach just wasn't very happy. Obviously, he didn't get the win tonight. And just had some words with one of the players. It kind of got heated. They got a little bit in each other's faces. And then a punch was thrown by who? We're not exactly sure yet, but assistant coach of some sort threw a punch, and then after that, it was everyone kind of went after each other. You had fans coming out of the stands. You had players going after each other, coaches going after each other. Police got involved. There was pepper spray set off by someone who wasn't a police officer, is what I was told. And it was basically just very chaotic mess at that point.
Do we know which team threw the first punch? You talked about it being an assistant coach or a coach on one of the teams. Do we know what team that came from?
Yes, so it came from a Westover assistant coach. I actually spoke with a player after the game and kind of just got his perspective on it, what he saw. He was the player who was initially involved in it, spoke with him, and he did say it was a Westover assistant coach who threw the first punch.
Now, you had mentioned to me on the phone earlier that this game already was kind of intense throughout. There was multiple technical fouls called. Did that play a role in any of this at the end of the game? Do you think that this was something that was kind of a carryover or a spillover from what was happening in the game?
Absolutely. I think, obviously, like you said before, there was region implications on the line, and I think there was just a lot of tension going into this game. It was basically whoever won was probably most likely going to win the region. So a lot on the line, a lot of emotions. Obviously, we saw two technicals, one from each side. So each side had a lot of emotions, and I think it kind of just spilled over after the game. Of course, the game going into overtime, not going Westover's way, and it just kind of spilled out, and I think emotions kind of took over at the end of the game for both sides, but for Westover for sure.
Now, I know you got out of there kind of quick after this all happened. Were you hearing anything of injuries being reported due to the pepper spray? Was there any kind of instances where people needed to be tended to by any kind of medical personnel?
There was no one needed to be taken by the medical personnel from what I saw. I actually was able to go back in after they cleared out the pepper spray. There were kids, of course, throwing up, and their eyes were watering. They couldn't see because of the pepper spray. But from everyone that I talked to, I was able to talk to the Cairo head coach and just make sure all the players were okay. They said that everyone's okay. No one's injured. I talked to some fans. They weren't injured as well. So it didn't seem like there was any major injuries, thankfully.
Now, I know there's usually at these games, there's administrators from either the GHSA or from the school staff, and obviously this was at Cairo's home facility. Were you able to catch up with anybody from Cairo's administrative staff? And if so, did they have anything to say about the incident?
Yeah, so I actually spoke with the Cairo's athletic director. I asked if he had any comments or if he had any more information on the situation. He basically told me they don't have any comments right now. They do have their own huddle video footage that they're going to review and pass it along to any kind of police department that wants to see it or any requests of that nature. But as far as any comments from their side, they don't have any comments until they can review that video footage.
Well, we're very thankful that you were able to get out of there unscathed and you are okay. We're wishing you the best on your way back, obviously, here to the studio. Thank you, Janier, for catching up with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, and Aaron, thank you as well. Of course, this is going to be a developing story. We're going to stay on top of it. We know that there could be potential charges that are coming. We're going to work on that as well. And of course, we'll keep you up to date on the latest developments in this case as well. Aaron, thank you. Janier, thank you as well.